Alright guys, I've been pretty good at draft recently, so I'm going to go for a 5-0 run. Traditional draft Ravnica Allegiance. Let's go. Confirm the purchase. Alright, pretty much here you absolutely just go with Kaya's Wrath. So that kind of points us towards Orzhov. So let's see what else comes up with. So Summary Judgment is pretty good. Looks to be the best in this pack. This card's good, but not better than Summary Judgment. So let's go with that one. Okay, Final Payment or Imperious Oligarch. I always prioritize, I don't think this card's bad at Carrying Imp, but I always seem to prioritize removal over good creatures. So I'm going to go ahead with Final Payment. Okay. Justicar's Portal sucks, but sometimes it wheels around at the very last end of the pack, so you can get it. But other than that, I'm pretty much just a vampire here. Let's see. Thirsting Shade I think is crap, but sometimes crap cards work. So we'll go with the vampire, although this is not very good. I wonder, would I ever do Rumbling Ruin? I don't think so. Yeah. Okay, Vampire. Okay, Footlight Fiend, 10th District Veteran, Undercity Scavenger. This 3-mana 2/3 with Vigilance. Sometimes you just win games off of just having, a 2-drop and a 3-drop, and they're stuck on mana, and so you want to make your deck as consistent as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and click that one. Syndicate Messenger, not a bad card. Plague Rite. So if it was Rakdos with red, I'd rather do the Plague Rite. With this so far, I tend to like these mid-rangey flyers. Plague Rite is just pretty good. I do like the 2-drop. And we'll always find other 4-drops that work. We're equally as likely, but this 2-drop is one of the better ones in the Orzhov colors. I'm going to go ahead and choose Plague Rite here. We'll get a flyer later on. So I've been liking Ill-Gotten Inheritance. It's just, you slam it down and it's just a win condition if you could just hold out and play control. And Orzhov has lots of removal and they have lots of ways of gaining life that keep you in the game. So I really like Sky Tether, but let's see. There's a chance that I see at least one or two of these a draft, so I'm hoping the next one I can click on. Here, Sky Tether is probably better. I like this card. We're going to go with Sky Tether, though. Just get that removal. Okay. On to the bad cards. Probably Hazda Officer. Let's see. 3-drops. We already have 2 3-drops. They're not very good, so we'll choose almost any other 3-drop than this one and the 2 offered that we currently have. So, let's see. This card's not very good. Debtor's Transport. And I would choose Debtor's Transport over Night of Sorrows. We're going to go with the Debtor's Transport. I think we'd rather get a better 3-drop than click this one, and at least this fills out our curve. Okay. Some stuff. Impassioned Orator. I like it. It doesn't do a ton. Consigned to the Pit is probably one of the worst removal spells. 6 mana, sorcery speed. And then Carrion Imp for a 4-drop that I don't have yet. I don't value Impassioned Orator that much. I mean, Carrion Imp, by it gaining me 2 life, when it enters battlefield probably does as much work as Impassioned Orator, unless you have, you know, the deck set up to make this to benefit from the every creature that enters. Like, I don't have tons and tons of creatures, and I don't tend to play that style. And obviously the Kaya's Wrath for whatever it's worth. We'll go with Carrion Imp. Nice 4-drop that I don't have yet. Okay, so pretty much the same choice between Carrion Imp and Consign to the Pit. This time, I might take Consign to the Pit. It's just a different card. Give me some variety. Okay, none of these are going to see play. I mean, maybe they'll... No. I don't know what I'm saying. No, there's no way I'll play this. Sometimes I like to splash red for, like, if they have a Gate Colossus. So I actually don't think Deface is, like, a horrible card. So we'll put it there. I mean, just for sideboarding, if we go red, if we get Guild Gates. Okay. Justicar's Portal. Probably will not play it. Orzhov Locket. Sure. Thirsting Shade. Yeah, we'll probably take that out. And another Vampire. Okay, Rally to Battle. I don't value this card. Drill Bit. Maybe. It's not very good in this environment. Rakdos Firewheeler. I would love that if I had double red. Civic Stalwart. You know, for 4-drop, it's not good. It's not a very good pack. Let's see. We'll go with the Drill Bit because I don't see a better option. I don't think I would do Verify Circle. Tap target creature without flying. I mean, if we ever splash blue, but we aren't yet, so I'm just going to stay in my colors. Okay, there we go. Spirit the Spires. It's a good card. So we can feel better about choosing flyers now, even these, you know, Syndicate Messenger, the crappier flyers. So I'll go with that one. You know, it's the best one here, but just considering the other options, Undisheathed Scavenger, no, Syndicate Messenger would be better. But get to the point, you know, this is a card that's worth like splashing if you get some Guild Gates. And then this is always, you know, a fine 2-drop, but we are going to go with the 2/4 flyer. Okay, Bring to Trial. Or Consign to the Pit. We'll get Bring to Trial. Although I don't think this card gets that much removal, but the fact that it's 3 mana is better than Consign to the Pit. I'm going to choose it. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me. Okay, Ill-Gotten Inheritance is what I'm looking at initially. Sentinel's Mark I don't value that much. You know, we do have 2 flyers. We already have the vampires. You know, you don't want to have too much life gain. You want to have cards that are... Because life gain, when they put life gain on a card, or life link, it makes the card worse. And so, you know, obviously look at Vampire here. It's a 3/1. So I don't value it that much. You'd rather have good cards. We don't have that great of creatures to get Dead Revelers, so nothing here is worth getting out of the graveyard yet. So I'm going to go with Ill-Gotten as a way to win the game. Beyond the crappy creatures I have. So just, yeah, weird packs where we're getting doubles. So I kind of get to make the same choice again. Let's go with the Civic Stalwart. Okay. Sphinx. Sphinx here. I like having Exposed to Daylight in the sideboard. It's valuable enough. There's so many enchantments that are good that you want to kill, and then, but not game 1 if you don't see them. And then, obviously, Gate Colossus. So I love having to bring one of those in, but it'll probably wheel, so I'm counting on that one probably for the next go-around in this pack. So let's get the Sphinx. Okay, Gate Colossus. It's good enough. And there's nothing else better in the pack, so we'll go with it. I mean, it's obviously a good card, Gate Colossus, but I just don't have the gates that would make it good. I don't like anything in here. Junk Roller, in case they have a Colossus, but that's still a real bad answer. You know, we'll just do... Junk Roller's bad, but if I'll just keep it in the sideboard in case I face like an aggro matchup or something weird. Okay, Orzhov Locket. We already have a Locket, so choosing one, I mean, it's like choosing nothing because it's just going to stay in my sideboard. I'm never going to play 2 Lockets. Rally to Battle. Let's try it. I don't know if it's going to be good. Okay. 2 drops. So we have Plague Rite as our only 2 drop. And then we have 4 drops. So even though I think these cards are decent, I'll go with the 2 drop because we need it. And that's a good 2 drop, the Imperious Oligarch. Okay, Blood Mist Infiltrator. Just get in there for a little extra damage. So many Vizcopas. Vizcopa Vampire. Okay, Dead Revelers. Again, we don't have enough, but sometimes... I mean, it's okay. It's better than Sentinel's Mark and the Vampire. I'll put it in. Alright, Arrest Your Zeal. Sure. Exposed to Daylight. Awesome. Jeskar's Portal, so that wheeled anyway. Okay. What stands out here is the Syndicate Guildmage. Not a very good one, but, you know, sometimes this guy's good. In terms of 4 drops... 1, 2, 3... 3 4 drops. We'll go with the Syndicate Guildmage. Just dealing damage. Sometimes it works. Okay, Font of Agonies. Nope. Archway Angel. Oh, Grasping Thrall. Yeah, absolutely. This card's beast. Okay. Probably the Rakdos Guildgate here, because I'm not going to play any of these cards that have been offered. Undercity's Embrace sometimes is good, but I'm not playing with it. We'll do the Guildgate just to activate. Yeah, it's okay to even have just dead Guildgate, just something that's one half of it is on color, on black. Okay, we have an Orzhov Guildgate, we have a Summary Judgment. I would rather have the Summary Judgment. Summary Judgment's just so good. I'm really hoping that the Orzhov Guildgate wheels, because at this point we're probably not going to choose any other cards, so we're just looking for stuff to make our deck better. Now, this absolutely Basilica Bellhaunt is better than any 4-drop we picked so far, so we definitely choose it. Okay, would have loved to see a gate here, but we didn't see one. Let's see, would Consign to the Pit be too greedy? I mean, what I'm thinking here is that we have sort of good cards that keep us in the game. We don't have any real winners. We have Sphinx for a maybe like swing at the end, but I don't have like tons and tons of removal compared to most Orzhov decks. Like many Orzhov decks have like more removal than this. They have that ability to draft that. So we have the Ill-Gotten. I'm going to get Consigned to the Pit. Yeah. Okay. Nothing in this pack worth to take. Well, Twilight Panther. I like that card enough, but do I like it more than a Guildgate? Let's see. I'm not going to play Thirsting Shade. So let's see if we played 17 lands. What would we look like? Let's get this Rally to Battle out of here. Okay, Ill-Gotten, Dead Revels is just not doing it. Spirit, Civic, maybe take out a Vampire, maybe take out an Orzhov Locket. drill bit. You know, the locket might be worth putting in just so we can get to our ill-gotten inheritance. It's worth it to take the Twilight Panther. I would love a gate here, but I don't feel good about it, but we'll do it. Okay, no lock. Got the locket instead of no guild gates. So nothing here is worth playing. We'll take the uncommon for those extra gems. Okay, again, nothing worth playing. Get the uncommon. Okay. An extra 2-drop. I don't think I would play this one even if I had it. We'll go with the gate. Okay, drill bit. Here we go. 2 drill bits. Just Car's Portal. Put that in the side. You know, sometimes, just another note, when I'm playing the colors for it, I don't mind a Root Snare in the back. Like, I've won games off of, you're playing against an aggressive deck, you kind of figure out how they play game 1, whether you win or not. If they play aggressively, sometimes people just swing out, you do 1 Root Snare, and then you swing back for the win. That's happened enough times to justify choosing Root Snare. So I like choosing Root Snare if I'm on green for the sideboard in this kind of situation where it's the end of the pack. Okay, Just Car's Portal. And then nothing here. And Night of Sorrows maybe. And Simic Locket. Awesome. Okay, this is not a good deck so far, but we're gonna do the best we can with it. So, what are we taking out? Arrestor Zeal. 16 creatures, 12 non-creatures so far. 17 lands, probably want to keep that. Our curve, a lot of spells. We're going to take out some spells. Definitely want to keep the Summary Judgments in. Arrestor Zeal. Probably take out the Bring to Trial, bring it in if I see something that makes me want to put it in. Drill Bit is not good to have multiple of. Oh, cool. Vault Progress. I'll click that later. Vampire. So Drill Bit. I might not even have this first one. Because if you just draw it late on in the game, it does nothing. Okay, Kaya's Wrath, we need that. Night of Sorrows. Grasping Throw. You know, I don't even like 2 Consigned to the Pit. Just because a lot of times it's a dead card. It's good for, you know, one time, but you know, just having 2 in your hand sitting there, that feels awful. 2 Guild Gates. That doesn't make Gate Colossus very worth it, but that's okay. Alright, how many more do we need to cut? 17 lands. Maybe some 4-drop. Maybe some 2-drops. 2 cards we need to cut. Arrestor Zeal. Not that great. Sky Tether. Need to keep the 2 Summary Judgments in. Guild Mage. Probably one of these crappy 3-drops. Because our deck's not very good, I'm considering keeping just the Drill Bit in, because sometimes you just get lucky and win games you shouldn't. You grab a real good card, mess up their curve, and then get cheesy wins in. I don't like that I have Blood Mist Infiltrator and Vizkopa Vampire. And not a lot of flyers for Spirit to activate. Okay, the one cut we're going to make. Alright, let's be crazy. Let's take out the Blood Mist. Do I value this over the Vampire? I'm getting enough life gain. I don't think I'm going to lose. So I'm going to take out the Vampire because maybe I could swing with the Infiltrator. Let's go with that. Let's see how this does. Okay. My playstyle is a little bit different. I like to put the opponent in Like be sort of an aggressive playstyle. Like force them to make decisions where I'm putting them in a position where you have to react to this, otherwise you're going to lose. I tend to go in that kind of position. I don't like to play carefully, because playing carefully and methodically, and like the way like an Azorius deck would play, where you just force them to draw and you're passing a lot or whatever, it just lets them draw into answers and crazy stuff. And I like to play like a scrappy, quick game. So I found that a lot of success with that. So this hand's not very good. But if we find a land, we'd have to find 2 lands to really make it going. Let's see, I'm going first. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on, and I have to find an extra 2 lands to make this hand really worth it. Let's mull this, because I know I have more 2-drops. And I might get a better land. Let's mull it. Okay. Fine. Let's scry that to the top. Fine. Yeah, we'll play that. Wasn't a big decision to be made there about plains and swamp, but sometimes. Alright, we'll do that. Looks like next turn we drill bit, hard cast it. Okay, good. Found a land. What are we working with here? Azorius Skyguard. I'm not scared of that card. Shimmer possibility, Wall of Lost Thoughts. Okay, I know the Azorius Skyguard is very far off, but in limited, he's probably going to get to that card. I'm going to take that because I have a way to block this in my hand. I can't do much about this, and I don't really care the fact that he has a defender. So we're going to take that card. Because it's looking like, based on this game, he's going to be able to get to that card later on, and that's just a very hard card to deal with. Okay, what could I drop here? I cannot drop the Basilica Bellhaunt. I could drop the Spirit, but the next turn I can't do the Bellhaunt either. But I would have to draw into it anyway. So okay, let's do the Spirit. Kind of good he gets to scry, but not that good. Shimmer. It looks like he's not putting on a lot of pressure with this deck in general. Okay, so he actually put a Colossus in my graveyard, which means I could put it back on top, but I can't cast it. So that's 3, 4, 5, and that would cost 7. So I have some time to wait on that. Oh, yikes. Let's make him scared. He'll probably block, but... Okay, he doesn't. So sometimes I just get free damage doing stuff like that. It sucks I gotta do... I only have 2 gates in my deck, so I mean, putting that on top, it kind of just is something that sticks in my hand. It doesn't do much. Yeah, we'll do it. I know it's going to be a dead draw for next turn, and then the turn after that, and for a few turns until I get a sufficient amount of lands, but you know, I just might not see it again, and it seems like he's not putting on a lot of pressure. Okay, so he's going to spend resources to make sure this doesn't resolve, this doesn't, you know, I don't draw it, and that's fine by me. So we've kind of put him in a position where he's spending a lot to kill something I don't really care about. Okay. He let me draw it anyway. fine. We just play this pass. High alert. Alright. It's pretty good here. Yep, that's what happens with these high alert decks. The Zorius is that they don't seem like they're putting on a lot of pressure, and then they play that one card, and they are. So, not much we could do about this. I guess I could block. I don't want to lose anything. Don't have mana for Summary Judgment. We'll let that happen. Okay. Next gate. You know, I'm just happy it's a Plains. Put the damage on. Okay. So let's see. It might be worth Summary Judging this. Chillbringer. Excellent card for him. Okay. Now, do I save the Summary Judgment? For the Chillbringer? I think so. Or at least for this guy. Okay. Basilica, we can follow up with Summary Judgment. We might just be dead. Okay, well, we got the Rally to Battle. I guess one way to look at it is I can definitely block this guy. So maybe we just use Summary Judgment on him. We block 1, 2, 3. We're going to lose a card. One of these. But I could Summary Judgment this. Take 4 damage. Block the other 2 of these. Yeah, because we're very far behind, we're going to just play very risky to get back in this. But he also might activate the Eyes Everywhere. Okay, activating it, removing a blocker for me, gives each creature with flying +0/+1, which on high alert benefits him more. This looks pretty bad. Yeah. Yep, you got it. High alert, pretty good. It's worth it to, let's see, bring to trial. I mean, maybe. The only time this is helpful is like post-combat, after I've attacked, and he's assigned combat damage with high alert, so probably not good. Put that there. I didn't see any enchantments. A lot of times those Zorius decks do have enchantments like that, where Justicar's Portal is beneficial. Alright, what do we cut? Sky Tether we want. Yikes. Okay, not enough room. for the Just Cars portal. Drill bit on the play. Yeah. I don't know. Just take out the blood mist. Nope. Drill bit. Final option. Running out of time. Alright, hopefully we get a better game. This whole deck might be just a bust. It happens sometimes. I didn't get anything crazy. There was a lot of bad options in the packs. Okay. I have a Summary Judgment. I have a Gate Colossus. I have cards that I can't play. And I no black source. Mulligan. One land. Sucks. If I get a white, maybe. This hand feels worse. I really don't like going to 5 though. I'm gonna keep it. We're gonna bottom it. I know it's not just a preference thing. I really don't like going to 5 because you just fall very, very far behind. So, like sometimes you just take your 6, hope you get lucky, and that has a higher win percentage than, you know, going to 5 even with a decent hand because you're 2 cards down. That's the way I think about it, and that's what I've been practicing to good results so far. Okay, we've got both our colors. We've got the Twilight Panther. We could kill this. I'd rather put the Twilight Panther down there. And we're going to need a lot of lucky lands. Okay, that's fine. Fine. Alright. Seems like a cute little combo. They put Screaming Shield on his stuff and then High Alert. Both have flying. Doesn't matter about blocks. Kaya's Wrath is kind of cute. We will just use this on the big 1/3 flyer and attack. Get that damage in. Okay. Cool. Love lands. Just keep on attacking. I won't use Sky Tether. Get one more. We get a Carrion Imp. Nice. Go ahead and quench it, bro. Almost decline there. Whoa, almost clicked no attackers. You know, usually I listen to music and stuff. Maybe I should just put the music on for the game. Yeah, I probably should have thought about that. Okay. More lands, like it. So we pretty much recovered, and he was stuck on lands. That's another reason why I don't like to go down to 5 cards, just because, you know, this is limited. Like sometimes people suck at making their own, you know, 16 land decks or whatever with 3 colors, and you know, just weird stuff happens. So you just want to play consistently. And it's like when you go to 6, you can obviously you got the scry, so you could dig for stuff, and just sometimes it works out, and it tends to work out more than just actually going down to 5. So, all right, we'll attack first. No blocks. See, I wouldn't be able to get this extra damage if I don't attack first, because I want to leave the option open for the black, so that I can give this death touch and kill his creature. But of course he knows that, so he's not going to block, so I get that extra damage in. And then I get to play my 5-mana creature anyway. So if you play this creature first, then you can't attack with this. You could just block it because you don't have any mana open. Just little things like that. It lets you get an extra damage in. And when players have 20 life, and 1 damage is huge. I mean, if you do that 3 times, which this card has so far, it knocks me down to 17 health. If I've got an ill-gotten inheritance in here, that's huge if they're at 17 health effectively versus that 20. So little decisions like that definitely get you games where you have no business otherwise getting the game. So we'll play that first. Now, I'm not perfect with my sequencing, but I try to be very good when it matters. And a lot of times limited games end up like this, where players just are stuck. So you're almost never out of it in limited, unless they have just insane decks. But sometimes you get insane decks, so it's okay. So nice, we got a game off of him. If he has another game like that, we're good. We got it. Okay, I didn't see any areas where that would be better. I don't want to get another Consign to the Pit in there. I'm kind of happy with how that turned out. Being on the draw. I'm going to go ahead and not make any changes. 15 creatures, 8 non-creatures, 17 lands. Obviously my curve is mostly creatures, a couple impactful spells. Definitely want to stick with the good spells, just in general, because it doesn't matter if you have crappy creatures, because crappy creatures are good for filling out your curve. So even if you have a crappy 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, 5-drop, have those, because you just get games by putting something down that stays on the field turn after turn after turn if they don't have an answer to it. Whereas with spells, they're just one and done, so you really can't afford to have crap spells in there. So lower the value of the spells is how I tend to look at it. Okay, another 2-lander, but this time we have a playable. We don't have a 3-drop, and that's what I'm talking about with the curve. You would love to see 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. I don't like this. I get to get an extra draw, and I have a play. I'm going to keep it. Okay, not the draw I wanted to see. Again, but at least it's a 3-drop, so if I draw the land, and I had 1, 2, and then I'm going to have 3 chances to draw the land. Which, 3 out of, 17 cards? 17 of the 33 cards could have been lands. Do that 3 times. The math is not bad. So it didn't work out for us. That's alright. Act like you're winning, even when you're not winning. Leaving up summary judgment or something, Because a lot of times, you just win games off of people just conceding because they think you have something. So if I, remove both of these somehow, players just quit. Alright. So that 3-drop we drew earlier that we were unhappy about, it ended up working out. So let's attack because it doesn't matter, and it's good to just be aggressive. This gives it -1/-1. Okay. So put him on edge, make him think, here's how I think about it. He is, by blocking or not blocking, you're forcing him into a decision where he's thinking about things. If he's thinking about things, players play around stuff that they just shouldn't be playing around. Sometimes this happens, and why not? If you just pass, there's that small advantage of he's just thinking about cards that you don't have and that causes him to not block or block and be nervous about something. It just gives him pause. Threw away 3 cards. Fine. Seems like his whole deck is just these kind of one low power, high toughness flyers that he is just looking for his high alert. I don't think it's a very good strategy. Obviously, it works out for many players, but I don't have the deck to punish it. Because it just puts such low pressure early. Now, he does have stuff, but I've got the Kaya's Wrath. Alright, what do we want to do here? We definitely attack. Probably not with the Blood Mist. And then we could lay down either one of these. Probably the Spire just to have a blocker. And he could exchange control with the Ill-Gotten Inheritance. That would be unfortunate. So we'll go ahead and attack with the Plague Rite. Not for any reason, but just because. There's no reason not to. Okay. One, two, three, four, five. I don't want to lay my ill-gotten and him just take it if he puts a land down. Because he has nothing better to do. Then that puts me in a position where I have to, you know, play on a clock. And he's putting low pressure. I don't want to give him a reason to have pressure. This is fine, swinging with these. 2 damage, because I tend to put in more. I guess he paid for that. Let's see, Summary Judgment. I'll trade off either of these for that card and use Summary Judgment, because my cards are just crap, and I'll just do it. Oh, not that I can use the Summary Judgment there. Never mind. Okay, we'll attack. Yep. 4, 5, 6. So he definitely has it. We want him to use it on something that's not very good. So, man, I don't like using this on the Pegasus, but we'll just do it in case he finds his high alert. It's not a very strong play, but I plan to get the value out of Kaya's Wrath to kill everything anyway. Yeah, see, like, Summary Judgment would have been good against this guy, but okay. Well, we're not looking good. The good news is that I can still block his Azorius Skyguard. That has first strike. You can block any of these. So, no attacks. Yep, there's a Chillbringer. Seems good for now, but hoping to use this Kaya's Wrath. We need to find a black. There we go. So, let's see. So we definitely sack and swing out. You know, there's just not much to do. I guess whenever it attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. So we swing with everything. But actually I won't. Because I want to keep my stuff alive for Kai's Wrath. So I can gain the life. So I'm going to attack with that. I'm going to sack this creature. Can't be blocked. Then we use Kaya's Wrath. He's at 1 card. He is scrying, but I think I can take over the game. I want to use Basilica Bellhaunt next turn. I want him to give Eyes Everywhere, take that, and then play my Ill-Gotten, and I should be good to go, because I have removal. If all goes well. No counter magic. Was he mad about that? Took a while. Fairy Duelist? Nah. So hopefully he untaps and takes this card. We'll see. Okay, didn't. Or he didn't give himself the option. Okay, Exposed to Daylight. Is that worth using right here? On the Eyes Everywhere. You know, it saves me from scrying. It gives me a chance to play Ill-Gotten Inheritance. But because I can't block these guys, I'm going to swing with my Basilica. So, because I'm not losing actively, I'm just going to fill the board and attack. Because if I want him to use the Eyes Everywhere, and then I get it, and I can take care of whatever he chooses. And then that would take care of this problem. So I don't need to use my card to take care of his problem. Whereas if he has High Alert, I'm a little bit more concerned about that. And again, it's the same thing. I know he has a 1/4 blocker, but just sometimes putting the pressure on. You know, I guess it wasn't necessary then, because I only have 1 mana open, so I'm not like really bluffing for anything. But I like the idea of it overall. He can't kill my creature, just keep going. And occasionally it works out. Okay. We could put 6 damage on and kill the Senate Courier. But I'm not really planning... At this point, this is fine to use. We want to use it now, even though it's instant speed, so he doesn't scry the next turn. Okay, let us not draw land. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's not like I could play double Ill-Gotten and Consign the Pit next turn. Sometimes that would be a reason to keep the land on top. So we're not doing it. Let's attack with our mana open. Blocks 1. And we have the pressure. With Ill-Gotten, if it survives a turn, next turn we could sign to the pit. We've put a lot of pressure on. Okay. We're looking good. We might win this. Oh, perfect card. So, for maximum damage, because he's only drawn 1 card every turn, I'm going to use the Consign to Pit. Because I want to get the 6 damage in and put him on a 2-turn clock so he can't draw anything crazy. Okay, so I have him unless he kills 1 creature and kills the Ill-Gotten Inheritance, and then he has to deal with the next card. So, yeah, can't do it. Excellent. as a really good showcase of having a worse deck. Well, I don't know, his deck was pretty bad, but our deck is not good by any means. And finding the win. Game 2 was kind of a gimme because he was stuck on 2 lands, but sometimes that's part of it. That's why making the most consistent deck with, 16, 17, 18 lands and a nice curve of creatures, even if they're bad, and then being very selective with your spells, prioritizing removal, just kind of the basic stuff. But I mean, this stuff gets you, it gets you wins when you have no business otherwise getting wins. So let's keep going. Okay, opponent goes first. We're on the draw. This looks great for curve. Yeah, we got a little 7 mana guy hanging out, but that's okay, because the rest of the hand is awesome. Got both colors. Okay. Play that first. This card's terrible. Never draft this card. A few times I've seen it be good, but just overall it's not. We're going to play this, and I'll block the Sorrow Form. If he's got a combat trick, force him to use the card, because I still get the Afterlife token. And this prevents him from attacking me, but I could still have the option to attack him. I know he's got the 0/3. The Defender. So maybe I don't attack. Not that it matters. Okay, that's a pretty good card. So he made it work for him. He played it out on curve. So good for him. But he just doesn't gain that much advantage. I really like killing this Sorrow Form, but I don't need to. He didn't play a land. So he didn't play a land. Does that mean that I kill this guy? Time is on my side. He missed a land drop. We're going to go with that. We're going to kill the 0/3 mana generator because he's stumbling. So if he stumbles twice, I can just get ahead because I am not stumbling right now. I did have my 3-drop, so I actually don't get to take super big advantage of it. He did, in fact, stumble. He could play... Let's put this in a position where he could Summary Judgment that. And I like doing that. So let's attack. He will not block. If he does block, great. Doesn't block. Just Summary Judgment. I feel like I'm in control so far because he stumbled once. I have the mana. Okay. Alright, that's fine. He removed my... He used a card to get my 2/1 guy, but I got an Afterlife token. Fine. No turn 3 play with 3 mana. So that means he just has nothing up there. Well, I think the move here is to maximize the value. Play 10th District and Drill Bit, even though the cards in his hand are not going to be anything crazy. Let's do it. Spectacle. Okay. Well, it's good to know that he has Thought Collapse, but he doesn't have any blue mana, so I really don't care about it. I want to put on the maximum pressure I can. I'm going to take the Wall of Lost Thought. If he finds a blue source, that just would be bad, and I can keep on attacking him. Yep, this gives us the maximum pressure. So we just kind of swing every single turn, and play the Ill-Gotten. I might play the Bell Haunt just to have a 3/4 body for the most amount of swinging, and I could just play this anytime, because 3 damage 2 or 3 turns in a row is more damage than this would get, even though I played it earlier. So I think I'm going to go with the Bell Haunt plan. Okay. Give everything vigilance. And yeah, all the time this happens, you just get free games because people stumble on mana. Okay, found a blue source. Got to find another one. And we swing out. Give this vigilance. Nice. Sure, just playing anything. Good job. Did it. Okay. We know he's playing counter magic. So that'll affect our playstyle a little bit. But not terribly. So we're just not going to, definitely not put in Consign to the Pit, because that's just a huge tempo swing if he counters one of these. It makes me want to play possibly a drill bit. That way it just forces him to use the counter magic if he's going to. I don't like that card, but then the question is it better than any other card I would play? I'm not convinced that it is. So no changes. Alright, I'm fine with that. Let's do it. Okay, opponent goes first. Did not find any black. I do have plays, though. Not very good ones. Because we have to find a black. I just have 2 plays, and they're not super impactful. Especially the Twilight Panther without the black. So, mulligan. Okay. Keep. Let's find a white source. See, here at least we have this. Okay, drill bit. Nope. Another thing with limited that I've been thinking about is you got to be single-minded in your approach. If you're looking for lands, that's all you're looking for. It doesn't matter if you go, oh, drill bit, maybe I could use it if I get a spectacle. Like, no, just you're going for your singular focus is white, because that gets me to play the maximum out of my hand. That may seem obvious, but that applies to very weird situations that it might seem like, oh, maybe I should keep this card. It's like, no, forget it. It doesn't matter how good that card is. Get to the source you're looking for and get to the cards that actually get you the most consistency. I'm sure another situation will arise where that comes to account. So here, we're probably just going to lose if we don't get a white in the next 1 to 2 turns. 2 damage is not a ton, but it's a lot more than 1 damage. So, didn't find it. What are we discarding? Let's see. Probably the Carrion Imp. No, we'll go with the Civic Stalwart, because the life gain might help. Yeah, I value the flying 2/4 over the 3/3. So That's the good part about drafting crappy cards. You don't feel that bad tossing them. Okay. This is bad. Just very far away from 5 mana. He's played it. We know he plays at least 2 thought, not thought erasure, the thought collapse. You know, but we're not dead yet, so keep on playing. And if we get a white source, I mean, there's ways to get back into it. You just, if we need to, sky tether this one and stop the damage, and just get through his counter magic. And I mean, it's doable. All right, what do I want to kill here? Or discard. Probably just spirit. Okay, 2 more damage. Nope, that's not helping. Okay, I don't like to toss the removal, but it doesn't help us because we'd have to play a creature, sack that creature to kill it, because I'm probably not going to be taking 5 life. That being said, I already have a 2-drop that I'm going to play if I find a white source, and this doesn't do that much. And the final payment is maybe. I'm surprised he hasn't played anything. I would be dead against any other type of player. Yeah, see, something like that. You just need, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Okay. We'll play through one more turn, but it should be over. Yeah, 5, 6, 7. So, yeah, it just wasn't on our side. Variance. Sometimes this happens. We mulled to 6. So we were looking for better hands, and it just didn't work out. Okay, land 17. Sometimes just like to check that, because I had this one time where I had this amazing Simic deck and it just wasn't getting wins. I was like, what's going on? I had like 1 loss and a couple losses. I was like, what was... I looked at here, it was 14 lands. I don't know what, I was just clicking around stuff and I was adding in gates and stuff, and I just must have miscounted. And so 14 lands, you're going to just lose a lot of games like that. So I did alright with that deck. I think I still went 4 and 2. But anyway, okay. On the play. No changes. I just need to draw better. Need to draw lands. Okay. So we have the lands and we have stuff. So happy about that. Guildgate, Imperious Oligarch, Guildgate Swamp, Imperious Oligarch. We still have plays for 3 drops. Okay, not quite a 3-drop, but I'm not mad at that card. Fine. Okay, Simic Guildgate. Next turn, do Spirit. Do we do Spirit? Do we do Ilgotten? Ilgotten just puts in the pressure. No, we don't do that. Okay. Maybe we play the Civic Stalwart just to play around the Thought Collapse that he might have. Seems like he has it because it paused to give him the option. So yeah, that's That's pretty good. I'd much rather have this card than the Civic Stalwart. Okay. I have this thing I like to say. You never play around the second one. Okay. You got it. You got it. It wasn't quite a thought collapse again, but good part is that these would trade, and I am okay with just doing damage, and he can swing at me for 3. And he only has 1 card left. So I'm going to keep on attacking now, because he just blocks with that. We'll force him to block with it. With the 0-3. Sure. You know, sometimes make him make the mistake. I'm glad that the Ill-Gotten resolved. And we've got playables. Totally okay with me. The only bad part is that this puts us out of range of the Oligarch, but I'll let him swing once or twice or 3 times and before I block with it. Although maybe I could have blocked, then I would have the 1/1 flyer just doing that little bit of extra damage, but I'd rather just have that around in case he floods the board or something, and I don't want to die before the Ill-Gotten does its work. And you know, none of this matter anyway because I have the Summary Judgment, so use that for sure. That's a fine card to Thought Collapse. Play that. No attackers. Still feel good about my position. If we draw a land, we can consign to the pit. No blocks. We're still okay. He didn't play anything. I am not going to play like he has another counterspell. And having a 3/3 is big here. It gets through the Ceruli. If he attacks with this, I probably will trade because I have Afterlife. But he probably won't attack. What I really like is that I have the Kaya's Wrath with 2 creatures with Afterlife. So if he ends up like 2 of these cards flooding the board, now I don't think that's going to happen, but if he did, I'd have answers. And I have the board right now. Problem is, with his type of deck, he showed a lot of counterspells. Every counterspell I've seen so far that I knew about, but then this one is not that surprising for Old Mystic. Okay. At this point, I'm going to take a bit of a risk. Do the Kaya's Wrath, because I don't want to waste a lot of time. I have 14 cards left. If he counters this, I'm actually not even that upset. But if it resolves, then I'm very happy. And then I have a drop afterwards. So if he counters this, it's not the end of the world. Seems like he's going to, because it paused. Probably has a quench. Nope, lets it resolve. Okay. Now you do 1-2 damage, probably swing twice. This needs to trigger twice, and then I can use it. Found that. Keep on attacking. And just play my medium-sized idiot 2/3. Alright, nice. Just play that. Swing out. Nice. So there you go, 2 wins. Nice. Sleek Schooner. Let's keep going. So that's 2 wins, and I believe at 2 wins, that's the threshold for getting 800. So if we get 1 more, I consider that this deck a success. You know, some decks you want to see, like, they're good enough that you're like, oh, this should be a 4 or 5-0 or 5x deck. But a deck like this, I didn't feel that great about. If I get 3 wins with it and I get my 1,500 gems back and plus some, I'm happy. Alright. Like what I see so far with the 3 lands, both colors, and a playable. And this is a good part about 3 drops, or 4 drops, I should say, is that I have enough time to draw the stuff in order to play this. That's why, you know, those 4 drops, that getting that mid-range curve is real good. And 1 drops, that's why they're awful, because they're only good. They only maximize the value that you get out of a 1 drop on turn 1 most often. Okay, and we drew the swamp anyway, so that is great. Okay, Summary Judgment, perfect. Next drop, or next turn, we have the 3 drop. Go ahead and play that. Esper colors with the Azorius Locket. Sphinx of New Prav. Okay. Let's attack. No blocks, okay. Do we force him to discard? Or do we just use the Summary Judgment? I don't mind using the Summary Judgment. I also don't mind taking a couple turns, seeing if he stumbles. Let's just go with the more conservative option. Let's do the Basilica Bellhaunt. It's not going to get countered. It's going to put a creature on the field. It does stuff. It forces him to discard. That might disrupt him. Pretty happy about the discard of the Angelic Exaltation, because it's at least it's a card. And I still have the option to Summary Judgment a little bit later. Okay, he flooded the board. And that's where Kaya's Wrath comes in. You know, I forgot this has Vigilance, so I can't use Summary Judgment on it. So this is probably where it's appropriate to use the Kaya's Wrath and just play my game. That way I can still get 3 damage in, sacking the Bellhaunt. Let's do that. Okay. Gate, Kaya's Wrath. And let's hope that we did enough to get ahead. Okay, Sphinx's Insight. And he doesn't have a backup, but we do. High alert, but no cards in the field. Alright, this is awesome. Looking real good. And just play the other big idiot. If it had gotten countered there, that's fine. You don't play into cards you don't think they have, or you haven't seen yet. Don't psych yourself out. What does this do? Okay. Just play this. Now, do I need to kill that? It's generating him some sort of value. Oh, no, I don't care about this card. He can feel free. I'm putting on so much pressure that he can feel free to -1 again. Okay, still can't kill anything. But he can block stuff. I think he's still not doing very well. So you can always crack the Azorius Locket and dig for something. But he has to dig for the answers. Okay. Well, he's finding something. I'm happy to use final payment on the 1/3 because we want to put the pressure on, not because it's a super efficient use of it. And we are going to attack him because we think in the top of his deck he has to draw the answers or we win. And so this is what I was talking about at the very beginning of the first game, is that I just like to put my opponents in positions where they have to, you know, kind of get it down to drawing the right answers or making a force him down to where they have to do the right decisions. And a lot of times players don't. And a lot of times they don't build decks correctly. And you benefit from it. So, slow and steady. Okay, the only thing to be somewhat concerned about is that this guy can block this guy. Yes, combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. But I don't mind trading either one of these, so I'll attack with everything. It's going to have to block. I know he can still keep on making the 1/1s. That's cool. Yep, there you go. Just draw one land and can't keep up the pressure. Alright, game 2. What do we want to change? Exposed to daylight. Yeah. People build decks around that one enchant at the high alert, and this takes care of that. So, what do we take out? Debtor's Transport was not awful. Probably just the Knight of Sorrows. It's a 5-mana creature, so it's higher curve, and it doesn't do a ton. Like 10th District does more than Knight of Sorrows does. But I do get the Afterlife. Yeah, we'll take the Civic Stalwart. As I'm thinking about it, that card's probably our weakest. Okay, so I just took out the Civic Stalwart to make room for the Exposed to Daylight because there's a chance that he just drops a high alert and I just counter with that, and it puts me in a very good position. Okay. Great opening hand. Opponent goes first. Well, not great, but it has all the lands I need. And he doesn't put a lot of pressure with these high alert types of decks. And I have answers. Final Payment is a fine card to draw. We'll do the Guild Gate. He's probably not going to play with something and swing so that we can utilize the Summary Judgment, so I don't mind playing it there. Okay, we will Drill Bit this turn. Yep, Depose Deploy. See ya. Well, he's got a worse hand than me. Nice. See, that's what I'm talking about. People just concede. And then I've made my deck worth it. So there we go. He had no reason to concede there. I mean, he had just as likely of a chance. He had no idea what was in my hand. My hand was awful. It was just reactive. I had nothing. But I consider this a success so far because I've made my gems back. And let's see if we can cheese out 1 or 2 more wins. People have pretty good decks once they get to 3-0. So I'm probably going to hit a wall of just, you know, a good Gruul deck or, you know, another good Orzhov deck with better cards. And I haven't faced any aggro decks. Alright. This seems alright. Let's just draw some lands. Thought about the Guild Gate first, but as I'm thinking about it, just get the Twilight down. No, the Twilight is not that important to get down on turn 1. Okay. Now, would I trade? I think so. I mean, maybe not. Because I don't have a good follow-up afterwards. And if I had something to play. And I guess just 1-drop for 1-drop. We're going to give it 1 turn of no blocking to see what he does so that we can learn. We can learn if it's the right choice to block this or not. We just don't have enough information right now. Okay. I would rather block the 2-1, thinking about next turn, than I have a 4-drop. So, I mean, I've got plays. I feel good about my position right now. You know, he does get that Spectacle trigger this turn. Just block the max amount of damage. And that card could turn into a problem later. Okay. So, I like seeing no play. Or no pressure, I should say. And we have found all the lands that we're going to need. So we have the board right now. And I believe he did not play a land last turn. Yeah, he was on the... I guess I don't remember. I should pay attention to that more. He must have. He just played that. Okay. Alright. Play that guy. Would I attack? No. There's no need. Because I can double walk. So again, I'm winning on board, and he hasn't presented anything in his hand that as if he's going to beat me on board, whereas I think I have a fair shot at it because I have removal. So I'm going to play like I can block this. Until he shows me something that he can't. So like that, yeah, that's pretty good. So I can't block. But even then, I still feel okay about my position. So would I swing now? Now he has somewhat of pressure on me. Okay. I don't know what to do here. Maybe don't worry about this and just play my grasping thrall. So then I would attack. I'm going to play like I'm going to win the board with this grasping thrall. It's a little risky. But it could pay off. I mean, he only has one card in hand. And he has to use the locket to dig for answers that might not be answers. And I don't mind him swinging for 4 damage versus my 6 every turn with my final payment in here. Okay. That could change things. Probably play the Plague Rite. And this is instant speed, so I'll use it, but I'm planning to do it for the Gore Clan Wrecker. And in that case, I'll swing for 3 just for some amount of damage. And this is good because I can actually block 2 creatures. I'm not going to block this guy because then he can kill with that. But then I could kill with that. Ugh. A lot to think about. Hopefully he just plays like a big creature, and that makes it the decision for me that I can final payment that creature. But alternatively, if he doesn't have it and he has nothing, then I know that my final payment is better suited for this card. So Daggercaster. Okay, this kind of makes the decision for me. So this is good. We're going to sacrifice a creature, this one, because it's going to die. No. You have to click the creature you want to kill first, then click the one you want to sacrifice. Let that happen. And then that can play. And we got around it. Now we can't block that. He'll kill it. Yeah, so just it's okay. So that's alright. We're going to act like that's a card. Now, do we block? I have an ill-gotten inheritance somewhere in there. I want to attack just because I think that my deck is better than his at this stage in the game. We're both kind of racing, looking after each other. Yeah, but he drew removal, so Skewer the Critic is such a good card. So definitely not going to attack with this one at this point. And we're going to still act like that's a card. Sometimes players make weird decisions. They don't attack because you have a card up and you have mana open. Wouldn't have affected him there. Okay. That card is actually not terrible here. Goblin Gathering. Alright, Gate Colossus, happy to see that. And we can start dealing 2 damage every turn, which is the real thing we want to see. And we're not going to lose to this. So that attack I was talking about earlier, where maybe he could be on the swing back, it could look bad. Just put pressure on your opponent. Just put pressure on him. Because you can get into favorable positions. I knew I drew, good stuff off the top, but it's because I decided to draft this stuff and construct the deck in such a way where I'm putting the pressure on. And that just tends to get wins. And I think it's going to get wins here, because if I get one swing with the Gate Colossus, well, it'll get blocked by the Mammoth Spider, but still, if, and there it is. Oh, did I have enough mana to use this last turn? Tap target creature. Okay, no, it costs 5 mana to deal 2 damage to a planeswalker, and I didn't have the mana open. So now we're just, no use in bluffing. Well, somewhat of a use. I could have attacked. Attack there. Oh, I think I have lethal. Nope, sorry. Mammoth Spider. Fine. Play this. And it sucks I don't have enough mana to use the deal 2 damage, but that's okay, because we're not going to die. Yep. Okay. Now, knowing what we saw, does that change anything? I'll tell you what, it makes this card worse. The Blood Mist Infiltrator makes that way worse. The Oligarch it makes worse too. But do we have anything better? Like, I don't think Rally to Battle is better than having a creature. So, I know a lot of times I think about stuff and I end up not making any changes, but it's still good to just think about your options. Here, I think I'm going to be crazy. I think I'm actually going to play the Orzhov Locket, just because this card really doesn't do me well in those types of decks. Because he showed me that he has ways to deal with the 1 toughness creature. And so I'm going to just not play those cards into his cards. I'm going to play other stuff that generates me value. So even though I like Playwright, if it dies for a lot of value for him, why give that to him? I'd rather make my cards do things. I'd rather have a Dead Revels that gets Basilica Bellhaunt out of the graveyard late into the game. I don't normally make that decision, but you're reacting to what your opponent has decided to present to you. So here, if we draw any land, we've got it. The problem is, well, no, the Kaya's Wrath is pretty good, but we'd have to draw a swamp and then use that for the Locket. And then we don't have a swamp. So actually, we don't have a play. We're on the draw. I'm happy being on the draw. If we draw any land, we have access to black, which makes this card playable. A little bit of a risk, but I think it's worth it rather than going down to 6. Because just trust the deck. Trust what you've constructed. Okay. So we have a turn 3 play with the Orzhov Locket. We still have a chance to draw the swamp, which makes Kaya's Wrath good. Good enough, because if he loaded the board, as long as you're not dead, you're still alive. You're with a Kaya's Wrath. If he floods the board and you have 10 life or whatever, I mean, you could easily be ahead. But he didn't play it. He could be stumbling on lands. He could be, who knows at this point. So, do we play this? If we play this, it just dies to this guy. Do we just ramp up? I'm not opposed to just ramping up. Or do we drill bit? Let's be a little proactive. It's early enough. He has 4 cards, and drill bit gets worse later on. Okay. I'm glad we did that. Biogenic Ooze is the worst thing I'm scared of. I know he doesn't have the mana for it yet later, but again, like I said, earlier, I think game 1, in limited, if I just leave this in his hand long enough and don't interact, he will be able to put it on the field and that'll be a problem for me. So I'm going to take care of that, even though he has Collision and Scorch Mark. We'll just play around the 1-for-1 removal. He's got 3 removal spells, so that means 3 creatures are traded out from my hand. But the pressure's low, and I think I have constructed a better deck than him. I mean, I always assume that, right? Like, it's got to be the going concern. You think you're a better constructor than your opponent is, so you know, his removal 1-for-1 of my cards, but my cards are better in the long run. So let's trade 1-for-1. It's kind of like in chess. Like, if you think you're better than your opponent, I don't know if that's true. You could just trade pieces and then play with your pieces smarter than they play with their pieces. I don't know if that's exactly the right thing, in particular with chess, but I think the concept is applicable here. Play this with the Debtor's Transport. And we can actually play the Syndicate Guildmage. Suppose that's good. It's going to get killed, but that's fine. After seeing his hand, it does make my Kaya's Wrath worse. Obviously, because I'd want him to have creature cards. Well, makes it slightly better. But I'm not sure if it's usable. Guess I have... You know, let's just use the Debtor's Transport. Let's get value out of it. Let's swing a couple times before we use the Kaya's Wrath. And we could probably get more value with the Kaya's Wrath if he plays 1 to 2 more cards. If he ends up using Consign to the Pit on this one, that's fine. Yep. And then we Kaya's Wrath. Okay. No need to do that. Excellent. It does die to his Collision. Can we Kaya's and crack? No. Should I be taking damage? No, let's go ahead and reset the game. Okay, he found something. I still have removal. Let's go ahead and fine, we'll play that. Ooh. Well, that's pretty bad. I've got enough land. I don't want any more. Alright. This is pretty good. I guess, you know, thinking about what I just said earlier, in chess you don't ever 2-for-1. It's pretty much always 1-for-1ing. Whereas in Magic, if you draft better cards and you get value, you're actually 2-for-1ing in most cases. So that would be the difference. Let's minimize the damage we're taking. How big does this guy get? 4, 5, 6. Okay. We'll do this. Even though he's going to kill the Carrion Imp with the Colossus, drop this down, and we can use it. If he swings, I will trade. Wouldn't it be awesome if you used Colossus? Oh my god. That's amazing. That's awesome. That is a great move. Alright, we'll take the Biogenkus. Take action. No need to play a land. We'll pass. You know, we still could lose because we're on half as much life, but... And I need to stop drawing removal. I just need one removal and then one creature. But the fact that I have a 2, you know, puts him on a 7-turn clock. You know, 7 turns is a lot when he's drawing stuff. Alright, let's go Ill-Gotten. Nope. Fine, play the land. Our draws have not been very good. Kind of the top of the deck has not been awesome. We did get our Kaya's Wrath and some stuff. Okay, you want to ride that out? We don't use double Summary Judgment. I don't think that can't be right. Take the 4. Yeah, that feels wrong. It might have been wrong. Okay. So, we're going to take 3 damage next turn. We could do it to 2. Going to kill 1. It puts me on a 2-turn clock. I am going to attack to get the 2 damage in. I'm going to take 2 damage next turn. Hope to draw Ill-Gotten. I guess we don't even need to. We'll do it because I don't want. I want to be put on the least amount of turn clock as possible. So 2, but I still buy myself another turn if I block it next turn. Okay, that's nothing. No attacks because I can't. Buy myself 1 more turn. Yep. Okay. Well, he found it. Alright. What do we want to do? With power 4 or greater. I think I'm happy with it. He did have a lot of removal. And removal is where the Jeskar's Portal comes in. Whereas the Sky Tether is not as good because I'm not scared of the flyers. So Jeskar's Portal might be better here. Just one of. Let's go with 2 of. Might be crazy, but I think it'll work. Okay, be on the play. Got 2. Got a Summary Judgment, and let's draw a 3rd land. Alright, I want exactly a plains and a swamp. That's something. That's still something. Oh, you know what? I can drill bit. Forgot that's how it works. Let's see. I don't mind if he scorch marks or if he collisions or even if he macabres. I don't even mind if he plays Clamor Shaman. But he's very far off from this. So maybe we'll just take the Rakdos Locket. Yikes. Yikes. I definitely plan a Summary Judgment this one. Oh man, do you take the Locket? Can't believe I'm choosing this. Just not scared of this one. But I don't even want to put that much pressure on him. I think this game's going to go long, so he's going to resolve that eventually. So we'll just take the value out of his hand. Yeah, just lock it. I mean, maybe. Like, if here he plays a land and he plays the Locket, he can draw into bigger stuff, but I just want to stop this right now. Because I don't have a clear way to deal with that, and that could just set me behind. So, okay. Here, we lay down the ill-gotten and try to survive. He doesn't have a lot of pressure. Clamor Shaman. So it sounds like I'm going to use this. He's going to Scorch Mark it. Totally fine with me. And then I play the 10th District Veteran. He's going to swing. I guess he can Mockery his own Rampaging Red Horde. But that's just for one turn. Okay, found creatures. Finding creatures is good. Yikes. I have to use Summary Judgment on the Gore clan. So I'll do that. But then he could give it +2/+2. Or +4/+2 with Colossus. Oh man. Shit. Well, I guess I have to wait an entire turn. That'll be okay. So I have to wait till my main phase to use this. He still can use the Colossus, so I can't use the Summary Judgment on the Gore Clan Wrecker. This doesn't help me a ton because he can choose that it doesn't block and I can't block the Gore Clan. So we're going to use this. What we're trying to do is minimize damage and let this thing go on for as long as possible. It has Vigilance. I'll attack with it. I know it can't block next turn. He's representing a lot of damage. not utilizing it. That's good. Because if we draw a Plains, we could use the Basilica Bellhaunt. Tempted to play the Orzhov Locket. But I probably should just use this instead. Get as much damage in as possible, because I'll be doing 3 damage this turn. And just getting closer to that Ill-Gotten while putting a blocker out. Okay. Can't believe he still isn't using this, but I guess it sort of makes sense. He's going to give this +2, so might as well kill something. You know, just assuming he uses the Colossus on this one, this would not trade. Okay. Alright, so here we have Juskar's Portal, which is going to save us the game, because he's going to attack with the Clamor Shaman. He's going to choose this to block. I'm going to use Juskar's Portal in response. I'm going to give this guy first strike, block that. Or geez, judges not die? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. Or he has 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. That's how I gotta do it. Alright, here we go. Oh, I forgot he could choose that one. That's pretty good. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at that. One damage off. Well, that sucks. You know what? I didn't even have enough mana to cast the Ill-Gotten, so I guess I was pretty far away from it. He's got 2 damage guaranteed next turn. There's no way to do it. Oh well. Alright, that's our first loss. Well, I'm going to take a quick break here. Okay, back at it. We're 3-1, and we have a very mediocre to average deck. So we're hoping to get that extra win. I don't expect we'll get 5, but we're going to try for it. This might be our final game. Okay. Opponent goes first. We're on the draw. Tons of lands. But that's okay, because we've got a Kaya's Wrath somewhere in there. So we'll keep that. I'll do the gate. Freak him out. Not that it would freak him out, but just play it. Alright. This Plaguewright. It's nice to have the 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, and then removal. Hopefully we don't flood out. We don't want to be seeing a whole lot more lands. That's a fine card. We just attack, and I guess we'll play the 3-drop. Just play on curve whenever possible. even though that's not a great card, but, you know, if this hits twice over 2 turns, it's an extra 2 damage over this guy. So that would be my rationale for playing the 3-drop over the 2-drop with Vigilance. Alright, Consign of the Pit. I'm actually happy to see at this point because it's just 1 more mana away from being turned on. We're going to decline. So, not sure what he's doing over there, but we are super profiting from it. Okay, pretty good. So that's his Kaya's Wrath, and we are significantly far behind. Gates of Blaze is a pretty good card. Afterlife 1. We'll trade with it. Yep. So Gates deck, Gate strategy is very, very strong. And we might be able to still cheese out that win. I'm very far away from the Gate Colossus. It can swing at me twice, and I'd be fine with that. So, do we do something crazy? Like Consign to the Pit this so we can maximize, do 6 damage this turn? 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6? I think we're so far behind, we're going to do that. We're going to Consign the Pit, his blocker, attack for maximum damage, and hope that he doesn't have a way to deal with this guy, the 3/3 flyer. And if he does, I can still drop the Sphinx, 3, 4, 5, 6, if we draw land. And hopefully some combination of that gets us there. Because we're so far behind, we just kind of have to hope. And that does not look good, because that's a blocker. So we found that land, which is good. We're putting on the pressure, so we're attacking. He's going to trade with it. I'm on a 2-turn clock. He's on a 2-turn clock. Problem is, he has the advantage because it's his turn. So that's bad. We can get an ill-gotten. Nope. Nope. Just keeps looking bad. So he had every answer. Sky Tether. And I could block. Well, okay. Do we Sky Tether this one? No. So we Summary Judgment, the Grasping Thrall. Swing at the Sphinx. Got a lot of mana open. That may make him nervous. Doesn't. Gave the Gate Colossus Defender. When he swings with the Grasping Thrall. Oh, well, yeah. Dude, just use that beforehand. I should have conceded and not shown him the Summary Judgment. But, Not a big deal. Okay. What do we do here? Drill bit, because he seems to be holding on to cards. Exile target card with power 4 greater. I'm not sure if that's good. Let's see. Consign to the pit. No. Dead Revels. I'm just clicking on random stuff. That might be good. Yeah, so we'll take this stuff out. That stuff just dies. See, I don't want too many answers for the Gate Colossus. Because then you just plug up your hand with nothing. So I won't bring in the Exposed Daylight. Bring to Trial in case he has... I didn't see any green mana. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. For the Gatebreaker Ram. I gotta cut 2. Let's cut a drill bit. Cut a Dead Revels. Yeah, I added that in. Okay, play first. Alright, hand. I would like to see something maybe a little faster against what he's shown me so far. Hopefully it'll work out. Well, don't like to see that. More lands. Okay, good sign of the pit is fine. Carrying Imp on nothing is what we're looking at. At least it gets over this guy. Do we block? No. Do we do anything? No. Just keep drawing lands. That's cool. Seems like a real lame usage of Sky Tether. Only saves me 1 damage. I'm not scared of 1 damage each turn. But alternatively, he's not that scared of 2 damage each turn, so. Yep. There he is. So, definitely swing. Definitely play this. Definitely play this. And hopefully we get to attack a lot. Well, it is a defender, so we can't attack with the Blood Mist. But maybe we could. No. Nah, we'll just leave the Blood Mist to be killed by the Gates Blaze. Yeah, so he has multiple copies of Grasping Thrall, so that's just it's a good way to build a deck. It's like a Gates, not even quite Orzhov, just Gates 4-color, which is how most Gates ones turn out. Ah, that's a little bit late drawing this one. Okay. Consign to the pit. Bring to trial. I hate that I spent 2 cards on this single card. But let's do it anyway. Well, yikes. Let's do bring to the trial. Let's kill that guy. Let's attack for the most amount of damage we can do, which is 3 versus 2. Decline the sacrifice. Next turn we want to use the summary judgment. On his turn we want to use the summary judgment for grasping thrall. And if he plays another creature we can consign to the pit. I think that's the highest value play, but then the problem is just a couple turns from now he could just stop attacking with the Orzhov Enforcer and use it as a blocker, but by that point we'll have drawn other cards, hopefully. Yep, another grasping thrall. It's pretty good. We'll consign to the pit that one. Can't attack with the Blood Mist because it just gets blocked, and then he has a 1/1 flyer. We're holding up a real good card here. Make him think that. Yep. Kind of a weird pick for this type of deck as Senate Courier because he didn't have a whole lot of blue. But it works. It definitely works here because it could block the Carrion Imp. I could deal 3 damage if I sack that. I don't do that. So I just play this. And at least it's something that I can attack with. There you go, Gates Ablaze. Okay. Oh, nice. Can't attack into this because we just lose value. And another Gate Colossus. Exiled that one, so he's got 2. Yeah, pretty good deck. There's just not a lot I can do. Okay. And pass, and he can swing. He's got it. I don't think there's anything else I can draw. Two blocks. Okay. Alright. I'm hoping for Rakdos Gate. No. This doesn't do anything. Pretty good deck. Alright. There you have it. That's everything. 3 wins. Happy with that, with this level of a deck. I did get Kaya's Wrath and Basilica Bellhaunt, but it just didn't work out. Let's go ahead and claim the prize. I'll open up the packs in case everyone wants to see. And I'll actually even open up this treasure. So I've actually collected all the rares of this set. So I now get 20 gems per rare that I open. But I can still crack the mythics. So, more gems. More gems. Biogenic ooze, it's nice mythic. Okay. Gems, collision. And or the spark packs. And let's open this up. Boom, 2 rares, a mythic, and some uncommons. Uncommons, I literally have like 105, 109, 6 rares, and 7 mythic rares. So it's the rares that count. Alright, that's good. Well, see you next time, okay?